Hey guys, RB here. It's time for a new update because things have changed today. If you have been following me and watching the videos or the updates that I've been sharing, in the last few days or more than a week, I've been talking about a level 6430. And at 6430, I was saying that we potentially see some sort of a sell off or a pullback from that particular level. And how I was coming with the 6430 as a level was simply looking at the 661% extension of this particular wave, right? So around this level, 6433, 6430, right? So that was my estimate and an idea. And even yesterday, when there was a sell-off first before the earnings of Microsoft and Meta, I was talking about that we need a new high because this last phase looked incomplete when this happened. This was three wave. I did not like the structure overall. I wanted another one up like this, and we got that another one up. And in the morning, I shared with everybody in my Discord and Substack that do not long it anymore. We are kind of done. It needs to pull back, right? So this was my reason for 6430 as a level to monitor from last week onwards, and why there is not much risk reward in longs, right? So now we are there. Now the opposite process will start, right? So now what do we need to look for? Next levels to buy, right? If you have been short, that's fine. If I don't personally short too much, I want to, I'm a dip buyer. I want to wait for my levels and then just simply go long at that, right? So that's what I want to do. And now, what's next on that, right? What level are we looking at? Now, a couple of ways to look into it, but when it comes to level, there are a couple of important ones, right? So one is this particular level right here, around 6284, right? So this is one level of liquidity right above this balance zone or order block, right here between these two, right? This top level or the bottom level of the same order block, right? So this balance zone, right? This is where accumulation happened before this expansion happened, right? So this level 6284 or 6200. This is also what I've been talking about in my previous updates, that this is where at least I want to see a retest, before heading higher. So now, if you look from the count perspective, if I was looking at 161% extension of that, I was looking at this being a wave one, two, and then a three and a four and a five, right? Now, fourth wave, let's just measure how much depth it looks like based on those liquidity levels. If I see here, so we are, let's see where 23% is. So 23% is somewhere around 6,300 right above here, and then 38% is 6,237. So I would definitely want a drop somewhere into this 38% or getting close to 50%. So this is where my drop levels are. It has already started to drop here. If we don't get a pullback here tomorrow, right from here, and then go down, something like that is also possible. And let's look into it and into a 1 hour time frame and see what kind of structure it is forming. But definitely a lower low has been made. We had a breach of yesterday's low right here, so a lower low has been made. All what you would be looking at, another low high to be made, and then if you want to take a short, you can do that, right? But again, coming to the levels, we are looking at 6200 and 6284 as potential levels for bounce. Can it drop straight here into 6284 before bouncing tomorrow? Yes, it can, right? But or it could be just a bounce overnight as well, because we have NFP in the morning. Based on some of that, maybe overnight maybe pretty quiet, but you can have a bounce in the morning, and we'll go into the 1 hour on that. But overall, these are two big levels here. Below this, if there is further draw, right, then we are looking at into a 6147 as a level, which was our February high. right? And around this, right? So 61476030. But at that point, if it comes this low, this is even below 50%. If you remember, I just drew Fibonacci, and this is coming even below that, right? So at that point, I might start to kind of look at it in a different way, where probably these waves just finished here, and I'm doing a fourth wave for a larger, wave structure, which means that four is basically, fourth wave for this. So it's one, two, three, and four, and then another five, right? And then big four, and then one more, right? So something like that. So we'll see how deep this goes, but definitely for bulls to stay in control for the rest of the year. Let's say we have bearish August. This takes a little bit of time, maybe two weeks, maybe it can be sharp, but let's say it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We have seen time spent in a very small range for a very long time. Like here we had almost a lot many days of June spent in a very small range, right? Starting from here till here. I think it was like more than 2 to 3 weeks, right? So things can take time. I said August could be bearish. August should be bearish in my view. So this can take its time for doing something like this, and you can have a complex four or something like that, and anything can happen here, right? So the time can be spent in wave four as much as they want to kind of accumulate and get you out of your positions. Keep getting it lower slowly until they are ready to push back up. But apart from the point to note here is that at any point of time, even if it's a larger four coming to 6147, or a smaller four going to only 6200, the important point to note is that it should never go below 6147. And when I say something that it should never go below 6147, it's not like that it kind of comes in here, sharply bounces. That's not what I mean. When I say go below 6147, I'd say coming below, and then my 6147 becomes the resistance, right? So if that happens, that is bearish, right? So you might see counts from many people, on X, and they might be talking about this being an expanded C wave, where this was an A drop, this was a B wave, and it went higher than A, so it's an expanded one, and now you're gonna get something like this into 5300, maybe somewhere into 5000, right? So all kind of counts will be there when we are in correction. Stocks are falling, major rallies is now broken, right? And you will have somewhat of bad news, maybe around tariffs, maybe or something else going on, right? So as long as 6147 is not becoming your resistance, which means, again, like I said, coming here below and this becomes a resistance, that is where we have a problem, right? In my opinion, what's going to happen is, now if we go into a shorter time frame, and we'll keep working on this scenario, worst case worst, what I'm looking at to happen is that we get some drop into this, or maybe lower if they want to bring it, like if it's a sharp downtrend, right? So which means you have a slight uptick tomorrow, right here, and you keep coming here as a five waves down, right? So that's gonna raise a lot of eyebrows, first of all, because it's five waves down, right? People are gonna talk about trend changing, impulse wave down, etc., etc. But remember, five waves can happen also in a zigzag correction, right? Zigzag is nothing but a combination of two impulse waves, right? So when that happens, you'll have five waves, and then folks are going to talk about, oh yeah, it's going up here once more in a second wave, and oh doom, now you're going to get a flash crash, right? No, it can just simply stop here, right? It's a zigzag wave, right? And then start the continuation upwards, right? So this is a way it can come down all the way to 6147. You can see how much time it's gonna take, right? And if you are going into the lower time frame here, I can see a smaller formation of five waves here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means by dropping below yesterday's low, we swept the liquidity there. Now we can bounce back. The bounce back could be into 61% of this, right? So if I 61%, 50% is all good, but this is where you say sell the rallies, right? So it goes into 3890, probably can touch a little bit higher into this liquidity level of 6403, right? If the bounce is too good, if the NFP is strong, right, it can bounce there, right? And if it doesn't, even 50% is okay. Even this 38% is okay. So somewhere between 6370 to 6400, this bounce can happen, and then you have a sell-off continuing into next week. Probably Trump will do something over the weekend, and you will be caught off by surprise on a Monday, and you will have a trend day down, right? Maybe 1 day, maybe 2 days coming below this, making this as a resistance, and then heading towards 6200, right? So this is what I'm talking about, my extreme case on how we are reaching into 6147. Again, a big point here of 6200 as a level, right? Bounce back sharply back into the same level of resistance. Probably it'll be another 61% retracement of the whole thing, right? Just like this, and it kind of matches exactly. Cannot be a coincidence, right? That's how levels are made. Now it goes here into 6336. If the bounce is sharp, the news is not too bad. It can do 61%, can do 50%, or something like this, like here, and then drop again, right? So again, everything should conclude here by 6143, right? Should not go below that. And then if you go zoom out again, what we are looking at, this is a wave 4 and then a 5 is coming. So how do we label it, right? I am just looking at this to be internal structure of still a wave 3, which means this rally is not done, this whole thing is not done. I'm just labeling it from here. This was my 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All in all, when I'm looking at the larger levels, it'll be my 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which means somewhere next year we will be around 7,000, and that's where a major top can happen, right? So this is what I'm going to be tracking to. Like I said, my baseline will remain 6147. I would not want to see it going below filling these gaps or anything like that. That'll be too crazy. And then if 6147 becomes a resistance, then it's a problem for bulls, right? Then we can get lower, and we'll talk about those scenarios if that happens. But this is my ideal scenario, 6200 to 6147. That's where I want to kind of build my longs. And of course, when the leg A is being built, that gives you a lot of ideas. Like I just explained to you on a lower time frame, that you get a bounce, and next week early you get a big sell-off, right? Like this, you will know that okay, at least this part of your leg is right. So once you know that you've reached 6200, you'll see these 5 waves completing. You at least know that your wave is done, and a bounce is coming. Now these B bounces are very tricky, right? They can take as much as time they want. They could be another zigzag like this, can be sharp to move there, or they can be slow and sluggish, where one of the wave can be a zigzag very sharp, B drop, and then you have an ending diagonal sort of a wave, or it can be a flat as well, or a triangle as well, right? So B could take any shape and form. In a flat wave is where you bounce, you do a double bottom, and then you have a sharp rally, right? This sharp rally is going to make you feel that, oh, the bottom is in, but no, it's just simply a double bottom response, and they left a lot of liquidity up there. They're gonna come back to kind of draw that again, right? So a flat C or a triangle, like I said. So this can take as much as time they want, and then you have another sharp sell-off, right? So this is a very simple case of a zigzag. Wave fours are known to be tricky. Wave fours are known to suck the blood out of the traders, because every sharp bounce will make you look like that, okay, maybe the correction is over. You'll build your positions. All what they're gonna do is just go push higher, suck the liquidity above the higher pivots, then draw back again. So which means your stop losses are gonna keep hitting. So that's where I would want to focus on a level where I feel comfortable owning the position, which is, like I said, 6200, 6147 are great levels. I would want to kind of build my positions around that, and like I said, the first leg down will give me a lot of idea, what it could be, and I'll keep you updated on what my thoughts are, and how I see them unfolding. But if this happens the way I've shared in the wave 3 and 4 coming to 6146, you can pretty much expect 3 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks just gone in this pattern. So sit back, relax. Do not try to overtrade in wave 4, because the gains that you made in last couple of months with wave 3 can easily be lost in wave 4, right? So like I said, sit back, relax, let it come down, because when it comes down to 6146, 6200, even if you simply long sitting here at 6146, you're looking at a 400 to 500 points rally from there, depending on what instrument you use, whether you long on futures, whether you long on EDFs, or you take very long dated calls. There's a lot to capture, and then any such drop here creates a squeeze, and these rallies are very, very, very sharp, right? So a lot to be made once this kind of completes, right? So this is all what I had just from the VIX perspective, and I'll share my updates on the other indexes in the post, um, in the Substack post, or in the Discord as well. So I've been talking about this level of 14.6 on VIX. It has been touched twice, bounced. Right now we are in this solid wedge. What I'm looking at right now is that with this action that I explained on SPX, I would want VIX to go back to 28. And if this is even sharper, maybe 35, right? 28 to 35, this probably will depend whether it's 6200, 6146, probably, right? So VIX longs could be an idea here if you want to do that, right? But until VIX goes to 28, 35, I would not be looking at heavy longs and building up my positions on SPX, right? So we need to kind of make sure that we get at the right level. So hope this video kind of explains the next strategy to you guys. And again, if you like my content, please do like and share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.